Galactic domination is difficult, but you can be Emperor. This is Sins of a Solar Empire 2. In this episode, we're going to take a look at how two different concepts of difficulty can be combined to create many varied challenges, greatly increasing the game's replayability. Then, we'll examine an example to help newer players get up to speed with the many game mechanics, and one idea for a more difficult, highly replayable asymmetric scenario for more experienced players. Sins of a Solar Empire 2 is a complex game, and your perception of its difficulty will depend on the kind of Sins player you are. Some are heavy min-maxers, who enjoy finding the optimal strategy to win at all costs, applying constant pressure on their neighbours with the intention to quickly crush their enemies, whether human or computer, like the insignificant bugs they are. Meanwhile, there are those who like to play at a more relaxed pace, setting the AI to a more defensive posture while enjoying watching their empire steadily grow, focusing on economic development and careful marshalling of a wide variety of warships. Once they feel ready, they experience great satisfaction in bringing the might of their empire down upon a well-prepared opponent, defeating them in epic space battles and taking their planets for their own to win the game. Outside of these two stereotypes, of course, there will be as many playstyles as there are people playing Sins 2. In this video, we aim to demonstrate how to apply the game's many setup options, in tandem with picking your own unique playstyle, to create fresh and exciting experiences over and over again. We covered the two different map generation types in a previous video. This time, we're going to focus on the concept of organic difficulty, and how to use it in combination with the game's built-in difficulty settings to create endless fun in Sins of a Solar Empire 2. In this game, we can broadly group the main options that you have for tailoring the difficulty of the game experience you're going to have in two ways: organic difficulty and classic difficulty settings. Hard-coded classic difficulty settings will be familiar to most experienced gamers. At the start of the game, you'll pick from easy, medium, hard, unfair, nightmare, and impossible, with the game applying various modifiers to the AI's behaviour, economy, and combat capabilities. Easy to hard will just affect the behaviour of the AI in the game, and gain additional economic bonuses over the player, starting with the unfair difficulty through to impossible. That said, before you ever need to touch the classic settings, Sins 2 offers a dynamic and immersive way for you to shape the challenge you'll face through faction choice, map setup options, and your choice of in-game playstyle. This organic difficulty system lets players craft their experience by selecting the factions in play, who is teamed with who, AI behaviour, and the many detailed map settings, all of which inform the style of game you'll be playing. Orbiting planets on a large map with more intricate patterns of moving gravity wells will require more forethought and careful planning than a small map where each player starts very close to one another with only a small set of potential colonies to support their war. Your choice of playstyle will further affect the game's difficulty, and experienced players can use this to their advantage when crafting a more challenging match. For example, turtling up as the Vasari Alliance, engaging in hit-and-run attacks to keep your enemies off your colonies, while focusing on economy and minor faction relations, could make your early game quite easy, avoiding the need to worry about many of the better contested and valuable planets in the centre of the map, and instead building a network of phase gates to ensure your own smaller empire is well connected. However, this can put you at a disadvantage in the late game, as your larger and perhaps better developed neighbours begin to eye up your territory, and perhaps this is exactly the style of challenge a veteran player may enjoy. Those phase gates will come in handy as you defend yourself from larger forces with your smaller, advanced defensive fleets. It is in the combination of these two systems of picking difficulty that Sins of a Solar Empire 2 really shines, allowing players to blend the structured nature of classic difficulty with the adaptability and heavy customization of your own organic difficulty choices. The result is a rich, layered experience where predefined challenges coexist with player-driven progression, ensuring that every match feels fresh, engaging, and uniquely tailored to your own choices. Let's take a look at these ideas in the context of learning to better yourself as a new player approaching Sins 2. We want to set things to be relatively easy while you're learning the game's rules and flow, and we need plenty of room to build up without too much interference while we're learning the economy. We'll pick the 6-player map Maelstrom because it is large enough to support a team game and has resources set to high, ensuring we've got some room to build a strong economy. This map defaults to 2 teams of 3 players, and so we've got ourselves a couple of AI teammates. These computer-controlled players provide some support when the enemy comes knocking, and it can be helpful to watch what plays they are making at various stages to help us learn the flow and pacing of the game. Next, set the AI factions to an easy difficulty with their behaviour set to defensive, and leave them in the map's default team of 3 too. Diplomacy can complicate the game while you're learning, and having fixed teams will prevent you having to think about it before you're ready. Now pick the TEC Enclave to play. The TEC's trade system is quite flexible and ensures that any economic mistakes made by a new player are more easily addressed by assigning trade points to bring in those resources we're lacking as shortages arise. Here, our playstyle will be to expand as fast as possible up to our neighbours' borders, and then we're going to turtle up and build lots of trade stations in orbit around our colonies. While defensive play is a TEC Enclave's speciality, you can't just turtle up and hope to win without making some offensive moves, but while you're learning, your teammates will be helping to put some pressure on those defensive opponents, and you likely won't get too much pressure as you learn how to build a powerful economy. Once the game has progressed to the point that you feel ready to go take on your rivals, begin to build a couple of fleets and take the fight into enemy space. Or perhaps your AI teammates have already started the assault, in which case you can either watch how they go about their invasion or assist them where they need it. Enjoy your game, and whether you win or lose, go and check the replay afterwards and watch how you play compared to the AI players in the game. This will help you pick up on errors or points of interest in your learning, and hopefully bask in the glory of the epic battles you fought and won. Now let's take a look at a more difficult and asymmetric game setup, for experienced players who can defeat the AI more regularly, and are looking to step up the difficulty and game style for something more unusual and challenging. One tried and tested way of making the game brutally difficult for yourself is to pit yourself as a sole player against a team of AI players. But we can go one better than that and do something more interesting, and perhaps a bit more manageable. We'll pick Twin Giants, and set ourselves as a sole player against 3 teams of AI players, 2 teams of 2 like races, such as 2 Visari paired and 2 Advent paired, both set to hard with random behaviour, and then we're going to have one big bad end of game boss style TEC Primacy AI set to Nightmare and defensive. Twin Giants is a fairly close-in map for its size, and the Orbiting Planets feature is going to really complicate things with so many teams vying for supremacy, and depending on the luck of the draw, you may or may not start your game next to a very powerful Nightmare AI, so you're going to have to bring your A game to win this. This asymmetric challenge is interesting because the 2 teams of pairs get no economic bonuses, but should be competitive against a skilled player while still tangling with one another too, allowing you some space to build up when not being attacked by the more aggressive AI types. There'll likely be some defensive players mixed in who will wait longer before they're ready to attack, with others raiding from the off. But all the while, that Nightmare defensive TEC Primacy AI will be rapidly building itself into an economic and military powerhouse, and eventually is going to get bored of sitting around and leave its territory with a horrifyingly powerful military hunting for someone weak to bully. This challenge and its many possible combinations of team and behaviour types can create some interesting gameplay for you, with some wild variance in difficulty depending on those randomised starting locations and AI behaviour types. This one scenario could be replayed over and over, with many different outcomes and levels of challenge to explore. As you can see, if you get creative with faction and map choices, you can tailor your games of Sins of a Solar Empire 2 base game in all kinds of creative ways. Have fun exploring.